Well, now we have true, false, not given. Please follow me here. True, false, not given can be the easiest type of questions if you just focus what I'm going to tell you now. Right? Because you know there are only three versions. One is true, second is false, and third is not given. Right? So whenever you read the question, divide the question into three parts. And those three parts should be true, false, and for not given, there is one word or there is one phrase that determines whether it is going to be false or not given. I'll tell you that as well. Have you noticed sometimes you get confused false or not given? So what's the difference between false and not given? False means opposite information, contradictory information, and not given means no information at all. Right? Let's do one question. Question number 9. And the good news is in true, false, not given also, questions and passage, they are in the same order. Right? Question number 9. Coconut seeds need shade in order to germinate. Look here. You know seed germination, beej ka ugna. Right? Coconut seeds need shade. Underline shade. Coconut seeds will be mentioned. Right? Germinate will be mentioned. Now listen, use if. If coconut seed needs shade in order to grow, germinate means grow, then it is true. If coconut seed, what is the opposite of shade? Sun. Sunshine. Exactly. So if coconut seeds need sunshine or sun, hot blazing sun to germinate, then it is false. And if they don't tell us whether they need shade or not, then the answer is not given. Now you will find the word coconut seeds, germinate, and all that. Come to page 61, second last paragraph. They use the word seed and germinate. Scan it, scan it. Found it? Last 4 lines. And your scanning should be very fast. When you are scanning, you are not reading, you are looking, searching. Found it? Now let's read this together. I'm reading it from the middle. Literally cast onto desert island shores. Found it? With little more than sand to grow in and exposed to the full glare of the tropical sun. Full glare of the tropical sun, coconut seeds are able to germinate. Do they need shade? Not at all. Full glare of the tropical sun. That is the opposite of shade. So the answer is false. Very good. See that this is what we call logic and reason. Once you understand logic and reason, IELTS reading will be a piece of cake. Few of my students got 9 out of 9 in academic reading. And I want you all to be among those students. Okay, you get 9 if you get 39 correct answers. 39 or 40, you get 9. Yeah. Okay, let's go on. Question number 10. अब कह रहे हो सर मजाक ते ना करो. All right. 10. Coconuts were probably transported to Asia from America in the 16th century. Look here. Coconuts transported Asia to America in 16th century. Now you will focus Asia, America and 16th century. If they were transported from America to Asia, then it is false. And if they were transferred in 17th century, now there are two things we need to see, right? So we'll go back and look for the words Asia, America and 16th century. Go on in the same next paragraph, you will find it. Got it? So last paragraph, I'm reading it from second line. There were no coconut palms in West Africa, the Caribbean or the east coast of the Americas before the voyages of the European explorers Vasco da Gama and Columbus in the late 15th and early 16th century. Late 15th and early 16th century. And what is there? Coconuts were probably transported to Asia from America in the 16th century. No, it is false. Why not given? For 16th century, they have used the word late 15th and early 16th. Now, one point to be noted. Why it is false? If they only write 16th century, then it's going to be true. But they've written late 15 and early 16. Because of late 15, it is false. Right? Now remember, if they mention two things, for example, I'm going to the market to buy books and pens. Right? In the passage, they say I'm going to the market to buy books. Pens are not mentioned, so it's going to be false. It will not be not given. Right? If they say I'm going to market to buy books and pens, both, then it is true. And if the sentence is I'm going to market, books and pens are not mentioned, then it is going to be not given. Okay, please come back. Now, let's be extra careful. Coconut found on the west coast. Are you imagining coconuts and all that? Yeah? If you imagine, you understand better. You can eat coconut after the class as well. Coconuts found on the west coast of America, underline west coast of America, were a different type from those found on the east coast. Now look here. Coconuts found west coast, east coast. If they were different type, it's true. If they were same type, it's false. And if they don't tell us about the type, different or same, then not given. So let's go back. Same paragraph. But the region of coconuts discovered. Got it? Yes. We'll read from here. Above that, we've got South and Southeast Asia to Africa and then across the Atlantic, blah, blah, blah. But the origin of coconuts discovered along the west coast of America by 16th century sailors has been the subject of centuries of discussion. Right? And what do they say? Two diametrically opposed origins have been proposed, that they came from Africa or they were native to America. Okay, and we need to go back. Do you find anything that tells you that coconut found on the west coast of America were different type of those found on the east coast? There is no mention. There is no mention of that at all. Read again. You will not find anything that they are talking about different type. Right? So the answer is not given, and G. And another common mistake, students lose precious marks. For true, they write yes. For false, they write no. And when the question type is yes, no, not given, then for yes, they write true. For no, they write false. This is a fatal mistake. I know one IELTS marker. Marker is a person who checks your listening and writing. Okay, they don't need any qualification for that, by the way, other than reading and marking and matching the spelling and all that. So that marker told me many students do this mistake. Instead of true, false, they write yes, no. Instead of yes, no, they write true, false. So please be extra careful. I mean, shifting the answers from the question booklet to answer sheet, if you're not careful, you may lose one band. Okay, yes. Let's go on. Question number 12. All. Now the word all, these type of words are quite dangerous. You have to consider them very seriously. All the coconuts found in Asia are cultivated varieties. Look here. What is cultivated variety? They cultivated it, and it's a variety of cultivation. One is you find it in the forest, one is you cultivate it. So all the coconuts found in Asia are cultivated variety, means they cultivated it. It's not that it was grown in forest on its own, right? It's cultivated variety, means they themselves cultivated it, and it's the variety. So all the coconuts found in Asia are cultivated varieties. Last paragraph. In Asia, found it? In Asia, there is a large degree of coconut diversity and evidence of millennia of human use, but there are no relatives growing in the wild. No relatives growing in the wild. It means it's all cultivated variety. Wild means jungle. Wild means forest. So, but there are no relatives growing in the wild. They say in Asia there is a large degree of coconut diversity and evidence of millennia of human use, but there are no relatives growing in the wild. Relatives of coconut which were grown in the wild. So opposite of growing in the wild, actually they say here, all the coconuts found in Asia are cultivated varieties because there is no one in the wild. Answer is? Good. Question number 30. Coconuts are cultivated in different ways in America and the Pacific. Now look here. If coconuts are cultivated in the same way in America and Pacific, then it is false. If they, if they are cultivated in different ways, method is different, way is different, then it is true. And if they don't tell us whether they tell us they are cultivated, but they don't tell us whether they are cultivated different. Now encircle the word different. Different will decide. If they are cultivated in different ways, true. If they are cultivated, what is the opposite of different? Same. Same way, then it is false. And if they don't tell us, it's not given. The last 2-3 lines. In America, there are close coconut relatives, but no evidence that coconuts are indigenous. These problems have led to the intriguing suggestions that coconuts originated on Coral Island in the Pacific and were dispersed from there. Is there any mention? Coconuts are cultivated in different ways in America and Pacific. They used the Pacific, they used America, but did they mention anything that they are cultivated in different ways? No. So the answer is not given. And this word different decided here whether it's going to be no, true, false or not given. Okay.